Bobby. Boy, you look awful.
Well, thanks a lot, Amy. It's a real pleasure to see you, too.
I didn't mean it like that. I just meant it looks like you've been up partying all night or something.
With a bunch of radical medical books. I've been studying all night.
Well, then why are you here so early? Your shift doesn't start for a few hours.
Rick called an emergency OR, so he wanted me in for it.
Isn't that cutting into your studying time?
This is my job. This comes first.
Yeah, well, you should probably try to remember that the next time you stay up when you're studying, huh?
There's Maddie McDonald.
Yeah. Scrub. Is Rick in yet?
Yeah, he got here just a little bit ago. I guess you're not going to go either, huh?
Go where?
The debates on the waterfront between the two candidates running for the president of the Dock Workers Union.
Since when did you become so political?
Since I heard that Duke Lavery is very, very sexy.
Did you talk to Red this morning?
Yep, the pump is open and we'll be ready for the debate.
You took care of this poster situation, yeah?
There's a poster of Holt for every one of yours. I counted them myself.
Good. I don't want to hear any whining from my worthy opponent or his staff.
You mean the old man?
Well, Edward Forterman is a respected member of this community.
I heard he was a con man from way back.
Well, he's not the kind of con man you're used to, Angel, not from the waterfront. Did you get press coverage?
Yes. The local papers will be there, and Ginny Blake from WLPC will be there also.
You know, I have a feeling whoever wins this debate may just win the election.
It's gonna be you, kid.
Well, I hope so.
What do you mean you hope so? There's a lot riding on this election. If you don't win, you can lose all the clubs.
Damn it, Angel, I don't need you to remind me of that every time I turn around. I have pressures you don't even know about.
The issue's all right.
There you go, man. It's gonna be a good debate. You'll enjoy it.
Hi, Jimmy.
Oh, no, save the paper. We are definitely coming to the debate.
Oh, and I'm a sucker for a good debate.
Well, then you might be disappointed, Bert, because when it comes to the issues, Duke Lavery keeps a low profile.
Well, I wouldn't be too sure of that, Jimmy Lee. Mr. Lavery is a man full of surprises.
Hey, you guys here to cheer on Jimmy Lee?
We're just here for the debate, actually, because both Bert and I are public officials. We aren't allowed to take sides.
And we don't even get to vote.
As a matter of fact, only the union members get to vote.
Yes.
Well, you're a little early. The debate's not for another hour.
Well, Bert and I had a few things to discuss, and we're going to pop over to Kelly's for breakfast.
Yes, and one of Ruby omelets and a little political talk is good for the beginning of the day.
How's your father doing in the week?
Oh, getting a lot better. But I think he'd argue on that point. Actually, I think he'd give you an argument on just about any point.
Yeah, you know Buzz, he's impatient. He wants to get better in one day.
Well, how is he getting along with the other rehab patients?
Oh, you know him. He can get along with anybody. But I think his pride's hurting him.
Your father's going to come through this all right. He's a very strong man.
Have you been to see him lately?
No, I haven't. I've been working very hard, and, well, we're getting Robin off to Australia and everything, but I'm going to go and see him this week.
You are? That'd be great. He'd love that. You and Robin are so special to him. I think you guys have given him the first sense of family he's had in a long time, which is probably why he's been able to accept me back into his life.
His daughter, Sandy, there are bonds there that can never be broken.
Well, all the same, I'm very grateful.
You're welcome. All right, if you are serious about this omelet, we should make a move.
Hey, there are a couple of things I never kid about, and one of them is breakfast.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we'll see you at the debate, huh?
Absolutely.
fine.
We'll save you some good seats.
Okay, send to seat.
Fine. Listen, I just changed my mind.
What?
I'm not going to have an omelet. I think I'm going to have some Chinese food for breakfast. I haven't had it in 2 or 3 days, and you know I love Chinese food.
You can't eat Chinese food for breakfast.
Well, maybe she can make me an omelet with
You're
some Chinese
ulcer.
food. And, wait a minute, I want to ask you something. Now, there's nobody around. Nobody can hear us.
What is it?
I want to ask you something. Who are you pulling for in this election? Jimmy Lee or Duke Lavery?
What difference does it make?
Oh, come on, now you must have an opinion. Come on.
It doesn't matter about my opinion.
Bah, humbug.
It doesn't. I'm not a dock worker. I can't vote. Besides, I already lost the battle to stop them from enlarging the harbour.
No.
The only thing I can hope for is that whoever does win is strong enough to control crime on the waterfront.
Well, you know, I'm with you there all the way. This enlargement of the harbor could possibly open a Pandora's box of troubles.
That's what I'm so afraid of.
I'll tell you something.
What?
Jimmy Lee is a very nice young man, but in my opinion, Duke Lavery is more suited for the job.
What makes you say that?
Well, he's a successful businessman. He works with people. He owns a restaurant, so he knows how to keep people happy.
The only thing is, he does have 6 nightclubs to run, and I'm just wondering how much time he could put in with the Dock Workers Union.
Oh, I think he could find the time. He's run this campaign with the efficiency of a surgeon.
Now you can make mine black.
Sean Donnelly, the only black liquid I've ever seen you drink is an Irish stout.
That's because you rarely see me in here before the sun sets.
That's true, so what brings you out so early?
Like everyone else, I came down here to see the debate.
Well, the debate's not for another hour.
Yeah, but I had some early business at the office, so instead of going home and coming back, I decided to stick around here.
Oh, good. Make yourself comfortable, Sean. At least you got here early enough to get a good seat.
Yeah. Hey, Red, tell me, how in the world did Duke ever con Jimmy Lee into having a debate here on his home turf? Huh?
He won the toss. You know how lucky Duke is. But Jimmy Lee demanded a few concessions.
Such as?
No booze and the same amount of posters for each candidate.
That sounds like advice from Jimmy Lee's campaign manager.
Oh, yeah. That Edward Quartermain, he's something else, isn't he? You know, he's been down here a half a dozen times checking on the arrangements.
That doesn't surprise me. Edward very seldom leaves anything to chance.
How about some black coffee?
Oh, thank you. That would be lovely.
Red, do you have any milk around? My ulcer's kicking up. Must be all the excitement today.
It's not the excitement.
I know exactly what you mean. I feel like that I'm hosting the League of Women Voters.
Good.
I'll get you milk.
It's having Chinese food for breakfast.
Oh, that wasn't it.
Hi, Bert.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Surprised to see you here.
Oh, how come?
Oh, I didn't think you were interested in local politics.
Well, yes, whoever wins this election could have a big impact on the waterfront revitalization program. Since I'm on the committee, I'm very interested to hear what the candidates have to say.
Meaning issues.
Yeah, right, the issues.
Any particular candidate in mind?
Sean, don't bother. I've already tried to get her to commit herself, but she won't budge. Nah.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that Anna knows the best man for the job. It's just that it'll take time before she goes public with her opinions.
Just don't hold your breath.
Oh, really?
You know, I'm glad we got here when we did. It's starting to fill up. We wouldn't have gotten a seat.
I know, they said they were going to save us a small
Well, when I said there'd be no free booze, I had no intention that things would go this far.
Oh, it's for Chief Ramsey. Don't worry, Mr. Quartermain. I'll make sure that he pays for it.
Well, there's no reason why your boss shouldn't profit from the few drinks that would be served today. At least he'd have a successful job to go back to once he's lost this election.
Too bad you can't say the same thing.
Come along, darling. We better go and sit down. You're turning red.
Hello, Eddie. Lila.
What gives him the right to talk to me like that?
Well, you know what they say, dear? Politics may bring out the worst in people.
Well, they've got it wrong, Lila. It should read, politics brings out the worst people, and that barkeep is a classic example of one of them.
He's just doing his job, Ed.
Yeah, what job? Insulting the guests?
Don't try and keep calm, dear. Who knows, you might even enjoy it.
The only thing I'm going to enjoy is seeing Jimmy Lee beat the pants off that labor.
You know, Edward, this is a very interesting place. Why haven't we been here before?
Well, I never felt the necessity to drag you around every gin mill on the waterfront, Lila.
Well, I suppose that was before we moved into Kevin's.
Thanks for bringing it into focus.
The pub has a great deal of character.
Well, I'm glad you like it. Maybe we can hit the bucket of blood for lunch.
I'd love that. I've never been there either.
Well, I can't even believe we're discussing this. I don't know, maybe Alan's plan will change things.
What kind of plan?
Well, I'll let you know later, dear, but I'm going to depend upon you to help me pull it off.
I don't like the sound of it.
Well, you'll like the result. I mean, if it works, it'll get us off this blasted waterfront for good.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Fred. How are you? This is my camera crew. Try and stay out of the way. I'll be right with you. Well, hello. Looks like everybody showed up for the big deal.
Oh, we wouldn't miss it, really.
Yeah, thank you. You're doing live coverage of the debate?
No, well, actually, most of the guys, the working union guys, are working, so they're not going to be here to vote. So we're just going to do little blurbs for the afternoon evening before broadcast.
Great.
Haven't seen you on the tube. Cutting back in your schedule.
No, I've been on vacation.
Oh, well, you look wonderful. Nice and
Thank you.
rested.
It's nice to get out of the rat race for a while, and I'm getting ready to go back to the rat race. Excuse me. We about ready. I must say he's a very good-looking man.
Well, if you go for the type. Wonder what's keeping Jimmy Lee.
set for Friday?
Yeah, the shipment will be delivered during the election.
Hope nothing goes wrong this time.
Oh, don't worry. The election will cause enough commotion around here to take the heat off us.
The place will be crawling with cops.
And none of them will suspect a thing. This delivery's gonna go off without a hitch.
Well, at least we don't have to worry about that rookie cop this time out.
Frisco Jones?
Yeah, I've arranged a little diversion. It seems Kid Galahad enjoys a good game of poker every now and then.
That may not be enough. He's been nosing around too much lately. He's trying to find out who you are.
Tessie, I don't like how this is going. We should move the operation out of town. I mean, why take a chance on this thing blowing up in our face?
Now, calm down, Stan. You've got a bad case of nerves. Now, you better watch it or you're going to end up in the hospital.
I wanted to thank you very, very much for coming down here and giving us this coverage. I've been a great fan of your work since I've arrived in Port Charles.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Laker.
Thank you very much.
Well, Duke, I just want to say that it's a pleasure to see a newcomer involved in civic affairs. It's really good.
Well, you know, this city has been very, very generous to me, and running for union offices, well, it's my way of paying Port Charles back what it's given me.
Bravo. I'm all for it. I think this city needs more concerned citizens.
Well, my only regret is that I won't be able to vote at the election.
Mine. May the best man win.
Thank you. Don't mind if I do.
Well, I'm ready when you are, Mr. Holt.
Something about that guy I don't like.
Well, I hope the rest of the voters feel the same way, huh?
Don't you worry. He's gonna knock you dead. We'll get him.
We'll get a seat, huh?
Feeling rested? I take you had a good night's sleep?
Yes, thank you, I did. It was lovely. There was nobody to awaken me. I mean, you know, with Robin in Australia.
Aren't you going to wish me luck?
You don't need my luck.
I need a lot of things from you. I think luck's a good place to start.
If you're the right man for this job, then this debate is going to prove to the voters that you should win the election.
You have doubts, huh?
Well, let's just say that I'm reserving my judgment until after I see your performance.
Scott, I wouldn't want you to make a hasty decision that you would later regret.
Can I have your attention, please? Come on, can I have your attention, please? You know, we should really get this debate over with so I can sell some booze. You know, I'm losing money on this. As you know, we're all here today to hear from the two candidates that's running for the presidency of the Dock Workers Union. Yeah. Okay, now I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce them. Would the two gentlemen come down here and take a bow, please? You know, to most of us, they need no introduction. It's Jimmy Lee Holt and Duke Lavery. Get out here. Well, I guess the only way to get this thing started is to flip a coin, and the winner begins.
Why not let them arm wrestle instead?
Now, Tessie, show a little class, will you? Okay, gentlemen, call it in the air. Heads. Heads it is. Hey. Jimmy Lee will begin.
Thank you. Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for showing up here today. And second of all, I'd like to warn you that I'm not very good at speeches. This election is very important, not just to me, but to each and every one of you, your families, your future. Now, I know that I haven't been on the docks a long time, so I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a working stiff, just like the rest of you guys. I've been on my own since I was a kid. But since I've been working on the docks, I like having a union that supports me, that knows exactly what my needs are. That's why I think it's very important that we have one of our own heading our union. Yeah. Now listen to me, my opponent, Duke Lavery, is not one of us. The man doesn't work on the docks. And the man happens to own several businesses on the waterfront. Now, I want to ask you something. How can a man that owns businesses on the waterfront, pals around with management, support us? How does he know what we need? Now, we all know that labor and management don't mix. We're like oil and water. That's all I got to say.
As for my worthy opponent's remarks that I am for management instead of the workers, I would like him to know that I grew up on the docks in Liverpool. My father and my grandfather before him were dock workers. Thank you.
Yeah. We have time for one more question from the audience.
Jimmy Lee claims that you have pals in management. Is that true?
Yeah. How better to read a man at the bargaining table than to know how that man holds his pint of ale?
And what about the rumor that you are a millionaire?
Well, that is a lovely rumor. I'll talk to my bookkeeper and have her get back to you. No. I have been where you men are now. And believe me, I had to fight to get here. Sometimes that fight was particularly dirty. I intend to see that you men get better pay and better benefits. And I'm going to help all of you to reach out and grab that American dream, just as I have. Thank you all.
Okay, we're out of time now. I'd like to thank each and every one of you coming down. And don't forget to vote. The election is next Friday. And please stay around and buy a beer.
Yeah, go on, we need it.
Gentlemen, thank you. It was a good debate.
How did we do?
You both did. You did great.
Spoken like a truthful man.
Yeah, no, I mean it. You can see for yourself. It'll be on the air later this afternoon.
Oh, I look
In fact,
forward to
let's wrap
seeing
this
that.
up.
Thanks for being here, huh?
Thanks a lot. You're great.
Okay, as soon as we get wrapped up.
That was great.
Brad, thank you so much. See you back to the office.
Come on,
Thank you. Okay, watch it.
Hey, smile.
How'd I do?
Well, actually, you brought up some very good points.
And you approve?
Let's just say that I'm less opposed.
That makes me want to celebrate.
Thank you, Brad. I understand.
Dinner tonight?
Yeah, all right. Pick me up about 8:30. I should be finished with work by then.
I'll pick you up at 8 o'clock. And, wear something to show up your legs, will you?
Hey! Comes the rest of your cup.
Thank you for dinner. It was lovely.
I thought fish and chips would be a good call. Remind us both who we've come from.
Yes.
Of course, also take my mind off this election.
You in politics can sometimes be a bit rough. Do you think it's worth it just to be president?
Yeah. I hope it is. I guess I'll find out by the end of the week.
I've heard that there's some criminal activity within the union.
I've heard the same thing. The outgoing president's ordered an audit of the books. Who knows what's going to show up?
You say it doesn't sound like much fun. Maybe you ought to leave the job to Jimmy Lee anyway.
They're a tough bunch of men. Country boy like Jimmy Lee could never handle it.
And you can?
I'd like to think so.
Do you think that there's any mob activity within the union?
It's possible.
Oh, dear. They play dirty. They play for keeps, Duke.
Do you really care what happens to me?
You must know that I do.
I'm beginning to think so. The games are over, Anna. I'll take you home. Come on, I'm going to finish what we started.
I think perhaps we ought to finish at the door. Say goodnight at the door.
You won't even offer me a nightcap?
No, I don't think that's wise.
One little brandy?
Well, I can give it to you in a paper cup. You can drink it on your way home.
You're giving me a run for my money, Anna Devine.
You haven't seen anything yet.